So, hello. We are now in LiftOff micro drones using the Cetus X configuration. I haven't changed anything on it. And we are in this warehouse. I'm using the DJI remote controller 3 that would use with my Avatar 2. Oh, yeah, I've literally just picked up the controller, turned on Steam, and so I haven't really had any warm up. Don't want to say practice. I want to say warm up first because yeah, I've flown this track, this area, this building a whole bunch of times, but just need to get my fingers up and running and going. Yeah, because I haven't flown this drone as such in a little bit, so I have to get used to the rates, how it goes again. It's mainly the slow parts that's the most difficult part, to slow it down, and I try not to do like small holes in the beginning. I try and just do the big holes first, just to get happy that I've got the control going, and then just do the turns. So maybe I can come through here. Yes, there we go. See, but once you're happy that you're warmed up, it's pretty much you start thinking about where you're going to go. Let's try and go through this window. I've got God mode on, by the way, as well. So if you are interested in learning how to fly drones in Acro mode or manual mode, basically, or FPV flying, then Steam is a great thing to install on your computer, a MacBook, and so on. And then I would say that maybe this micro drones is a bit advanced. It's subjective, but for me it was something that I needed a lot more practice before I could truly master this, or be on my way to mastering it, let's say. But so it takes a little bit of practice. I would advise using LiftOff first of all, because they it's a lot more difficult to fly these micro drones, in my opinion. They just need a little bit more control. Whoops, there we go. And especially inside, you've got to make the turns quicker. You've got to keep the control of it a lot better. I mean, this is still a quite open space when you start flying around the small house with the bedroom going upstairs and going to the cellar and so on. I'm not ready to post any videos on YouTube of me doing that yet, because it just be me crashing every like 13 seconds or something. So it's not interesting for anyone to watch me crashing all the time. You at least want to see me flying around just a little bit. I mean, everyone crashes. That's clear. You know, if you think you're going to fly FPV and never crash, then yeah, you're in a fantasy world. Okay, so you've got to learn how to avoid crashing first of all, and when you do crash, try and have as minimal impact as possible with it. But that's also not totally possible to do, because yeah, normally when you crash, it's like, oops, I didn't mean to crash. But if you're going to fly into something, you know you are, then just drop the drone down. Is probably the best advice. Just let gravity take effect, and just let it drop. Obviously, if you're super high up, then letting it drop is going to give you a little bit more time to get control of the drone once again. But I really like this micro drone. So I think it costs maybe €20 again or something like that, but it's well worth it to do, because if you go and buy a DJI Neo or a DJI Avatar 2 or Avatar with the goggles and the controller, you've already spent like maybe $1,000 with all of the goggles and stuff. So it's well worth just taking the time to invest in the controller first, the DJI remote controller 3. I bought some extra sticks for it because I lost the first set because they fell out the controller, either because I was not being vigilant about, yeah, I don't know. If I did know, I wouldn't have lost them. So anyway, I bought bigger sticks, and the bigger sticks, to be honest with you, are a lot better. They're a lot longer, and I've got more room to fly the drone with. Or yeah, I'm not a professional drone pilot, but maybe other people would say that longer sticks are better. For me, it feels like that is the case. Anyway, I'm going to start trying to do a little bit more, going through some smaller holes now. Let's start with this window. There we go. And let's just come round and come underneath here. And miss that. Yes, there we go. See, and once you're getting happy that your fingers are all warmed up, oh, there we go. Like I said, I've got God mode on. so we don't have to worry about resetting it. But I do much prefer to have to reset it all the time, because if you start knocking into things, you're going to learn to knock into things. So you want to learn to not crash, or have a timer on to see how far and how long you can do it without crashing, and to stop yourself as well. In places like this, you got it. There we go. Oh. Obviously, these drones, they're a little bit more. The Cetus X, I own the Cetus X, and it's a very robust drone. Apart from the camera where it sits, if you smash into that, it's that camera's dead. That camera's done. And when I first bought it, I crashed it probably within hours, and the lens was scratched. I had a lovely scratch on it, so I had to literally learn how to fly it with like one eye, because on the right hand side of the screen that I could see was just completely scratched. And yeah, that taught me how to fly. And also because the goggles for the Cetus X from Beta FPV, they you can't fit glasses in there, and although I'd need glasses for those goggles, like the DJI goggles free, you can change the settings on each eye, and I have near enough perfect vision, but it's just stuff close up I have really difficulty focusing on. And obviously in the goggles, when you put a screen in front of you, then you have difficulty as well. And I can't read the text in the Beta FPV goggles, so it's a little bit of annoyance. I can just see the flashing of when the batteries or land now and so on. I just know what the different shapes of the text look like, obviously. But would I advise buying the Beta Cetus with the pack? No, I wouldn't. I would advise getting the Neo first of all instead, because it's a lot more robust. The camera's a lot better first of all, and it works with the DJI goggles. And you're going to need to buy goggles at one point, and you want to have high definition goggles, and the goggles that come with the Beta FPV Cetus X, they are analog. And yeah, you're going to be able to learn how to fly a drone, that's fine, but you spent like $400 on a drone for some goggles and the drone, the controller and so on, and it's still analog and the picture's crap, and you can't do anything with that footage. Basically, it's there just to review, to see how well you could fly, to yeah, basically just to archive how, or to log how your progress is with FPV drone flying. But in all fairness, it's better just to learn all these mistakes on the simulator. I'm not even thinking out about flying, I'm literally just talking to you and so on. It's this is the ability that you need to get, is to be able to just shut off and let your eyes and your fingers and so on do it as if you were driving a car. You know, when you drive in a car, you change gears pretty much automatically. Automatically, and then you do the brakes, and you do the indicating, and you do all this type of stuff without really even thinking, because you've done it so often that yeah, your muscles, your motor memory is there. And this is what, like it is with drone flying, once you've flown a little bit, your motor memory kicks in and helps you out with it. You've obviously got to actively tell your eyes and your hands what your intentions are, and then the rest just tends to happen automatically. It's just come around the corner, come through these plants. See, if I just speak to myself, that's what I'm doing in my head. I'm telling myself where I want to go, and then I'm letting everything else just happen. So I'm going to come back through this door as well and turn around, and then we're going to come back through it again and twist around, come through this other door, just to show that we can do a bit of turning. Let's go through the door down the end. Yes, there we go, see? Once you've got some confidence as well, confidence in your ability to do something. This is a really key thing. Now, I learnt that from being in the army, you know, that you've got to just do it, and you can't have any doubt. You've got to just do it and take the consequences if you made the wrong decision later on. But you know, own your decisions, own your mistakes as well, because learn from your mistakes too. That's more of a programming thing that I've learn from your mistakes. But yeah, it's don't give up, never give up, be tenacious. It's going to take you a amount of hours until you can fly like this. I mean, it took me hundreds of hours, and I do have the patience, I do have the tenacity, the drive to learn types of stuff like this, and I don't give in. this is it. Is that if I cannot do it, I'm going to practice and practice and practice every single day until I can do it. And yeah, I'm not interested in coming first in stuff. Normally, when I do things, I do pretty well because obviously I am very tenacious in what I do, and it can be a good and bad thing sometimes how tenacious I am. But this is, if I can inspire you enough with regards to drone flying, it's don't give up. Don't get disheartened when you crash or when you can't do it in one day. That's normal FPV flying, to be honest with you. So yeah, I don't know how long I've been going so far. I think I've got music in my ears. I think I'm on the third song or something now. So anyway, it's just a good little track to get used to turning around, and let's try and slow down and go round some. Yeah, I've met up with one of my wife's friends, or our friends, but originally my wife's friends, and they have a factory, basically, and I'm looking to hopefully do some drone footage for them inside with the Neo. I'm going to use the Neo first of all, and yeah, do it some there, but it'll be a good project to try and do. And if I break the drone, I break the drone. Doesn't matter. I'll buy another one because it's that learning is worth way more to me than a €200 drone that I can replace. Because knowledge, in my opinion, is worth a lot more, especially when you. I mean, I mean this in the most modest way. Once you've learnt to become a software developer, the salaries and the money you can earn in other things just becomes of no relevance. So I know that my knowledge of programming can always replace those material items just through working. But drone flying is more fun. It's, you see other people, you go outside, it's just an awesome experience, and then you see the result at the end of it. And yeah, you are still making something. You know, you got to be a little bit artistic about it. You got to have the knowledge of how to fly these things. There's some technicalities in it, and you know that is kind of the same as programming. But right now, you know, with everyone needs a programmer, everyone needs someone to have their website or their app or their server configured, or AI today and all sorts of stuff. So, but it's very very much sitting down at home or sitting down in an office and never going outside and never meeting people. So for me, the photography in my life, or the videography, or the drone flying and all of this stuff is so much more enjoyable. And you know, I feel that my programming time, my technical time, let's call it, is a pillar in my life. You know, just like my army career was a pillar in my life, and my photography in my earlier time was another pillar as well. And you know, well, let's face it, to build a house or a building or a bridge or something, you need the foundations, you need the structure that can hold the office building, you know. And it's not until you put the chairs and the tables and the windows and the people in it and the printers and the computers, that is when, you know, the pillars were there, required to have, even before someone printed out a piece of paper with their first contract on for the first customer, in order to send an invoice for their first work that they've done. So sometimes, you know, years of working doesn't mean to say you are going to go in that direction. It just means that it was a path towards your future. And you know, drone flying, if you're a technical person sat inside all the time, you're thinking, I want to do this as a profession, then you've got to put those hours in, just like you put the hours in to learn or study whatever it is, trade that you did learn in the beginning. So, but don't ever get disheartened by not being able to do this type of stuff, because it just takes pure practice. And oh yeah, look, see, let's try and get through this hole just to try and have a little bit more confidence. There we go. Okay, I went through it backwards then, but it's just because once I'm locked in on the hole and I see I can do it, I just have no problem about going backwards like there. But see, I know I've got through that hole because I see the marker in the middle. I know I'm through. So even though I'm not through yet, I know the momentum in in the drone is going to take it through. By the time I flip my thumb round, I'm going to be through. So you need to learn the ability. That was just pure luck then. You need to learn the abilities of the drone. Like there, see, I knew I was through. Like there, see, I knew I was through. Okay, I was going to hit something there, that was clear. But all right, I'm going to start finishing this video off now. So if you have enjoyed this video and you watched so far, then really, really thank you very much that you watch and listen to me for how much time. Now, if you've not listening to me, then I'll thank you anyway. If you've got, you know, just the screen on and you're watching this, then thank you very much. Don't forget to like the video. That would be really nice, be really cool. Otherwise, subscribe if you're interested in other videos that I make, and share it, do whatever. If you want to see some of the videos that I've made, some of the photos I've done with my drone, come over to Instagram. It's David Thorne, yeah, as in David videos, but David Thorne. Come and check me out on Instagram, and yeah, that'll be it. Right, with that said, let's reset this and take off and just do a landing, because I think landings are just as important as flying, because you need to land at the end. So let's come over here somewhere, and let's try and land on this chair, shall we? Took a bit of concentration. Oh, okay, nearly. Anyway, thanks very much. Ciao, ciao. Goodbye.